Come back to Simrite Fashion Academy YouTube channel for another interesting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to sew this beautiful AGBADA kimono, which you can wear in two ways as well. This is a 2-in-1 AGBADA kimono kaftan. So here you can wear it as a bubu, then you can also wear it as a kimono gown. So it also has a belt inside, so you can also wear it as a bubu with a tight waist. So I'm just trying to loosen out the belt. In case I want to wear it like a bubu with a tight waist, I'll just go ahead and press my press button, close them up, and then tie the belt, as you can see. So if this is what you want to learn in this class, I will encourage you to stay till the end of this tutorial to learn how this beautiful 2-in-1 AGBADA kimono is made. So you can use it for your trousers, you can use it for your gown, you can use it for your skirt as well. So to begin this tutorial, I have 2 yards of Ankara here. You can use any fabric of your choice. It can be damask, it can be Ankara, any fabric of your choice can do this. Okay, apart from fabric that are light. So now I'm going to open up my fabric. This is 2 yards, and these 2 yards I'm going to place it on fold. So you have to place it on the first fold if you are using Ankara like me, and then you fold it another way. So I'm using 2 yards because it's not actually a long length, but if you want to make a long length, you have to go ahead and use 3.5 yards. So for shorter length, 2 yards can do this kimono. So here I folded it another time. So here is the open end and the folded end. So I'm going to take my vertical measurement. So the first vertical measurement I'm taking is my waistline, and I'm going to highlight the line. The next measurement is my hip line. So I'm going to take my hip line measurement right now. I'm taking it at 29 inches. So I'm going to highlight the line as well. Then the full length of this gown is at 45 because Ankara comes at 45 inches. So just go ahead and highlight your line, your waist and your hip line. So this is my waist and this is the hip line. So the next measurement we want to start taking now is the horizontal measurement. So I'm going to take my neckline at 2.5 inches. So just go ahead and mark 2.5 inches, and then from that point you mark 17 inches. Okay, so after marking the 17 inches, that part is the sleeve area. So the neck depth I'm making use of is 1 inch. So I'm going to connect my back neckline. I'm connecting 1 inch by 2.5 inches. So after that, next is to take the hip circumference divided by 4. So my hip circumference divided by 4 is 12 inches. So from the center front, I took hip divided by 4, 12 inches, and I added 4 inches. So the 4 inches is both for your ease and for seam allowance. Go ahead and take the measurement on the hip line, all the measurements including my ease and seam allowance to the hem, and mark 16 inches. So I'm going to draw a straight line from the hem to the hip. So I'll just mark a straight line from that point to the hip. And I'm going to also extend that straight line to the waist. But then I'm going to come down from the waistline by 1 inch. So I'll just mark the 16 inches on the waistline. And from the waistline, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Then I'm going to extend that line from the 1 inch to the hip line. So you can see we have a straight line from hem to the hip to 1 inch. So on that 1 inch line, just make a straight line from that 1 inch to the end of the sleeve. Okay, so just make a line, and then from the end of the dress, just come in by 3 inches and mark. That will be the sleeve line. So after marking in by 3 inches, then we are going to connect from that 3 inches to the hip line like this. So you can just freehand it, or you can use your curve ruler as well. So after that, making that curve, we have our dress ready for cutting. So I'll just go ahead now to cut the shape we have marked out. After cutting out, I'm going to separate the back from the front. So I'll just lift up the front and remove the back piece. Then we are going to cut out the neckline for the front piece right now. So I'm trying to arrange it. After putting them together, I'm going to mark out the neckline right now. So for the neckline, I will just go ahead at the center front. I'll keep marking 1 inch, 1 inch from top to bottom. So after marking out the 1 inch, just go ahead and use your ruler and make a straight line from the hem to the neckline. So I'm just going to make my straight line right now. So next is to connect from your neckline to the waistline with your straight ruler to the 1 inch line. So after connecting it to the 1 inch line, then we are going to cut it out right away. That will be for the front. After cutting it out, just go ahead and mark your back or wrong side of the Ankara fabric or any fabric you are using. Just mark the wrong side. And now we are going to come in with the back piece once again because we want to sew the neckline. So I just go ahead and open up the back piece. I'm also marking the wrong side of the back piece, so we'll be able to sew right side to right side of the back piece and the front piece. So I'm going to lay them on the shoulder seam line and I'm going to stitch at 0.5 inch. So once I get to my machine now, I'm going to sew at 0.5 inch on the seam, shoulder seam line. So I'll go over now to stitch. So I'm done stitching. As you can see, I gave it a good press as well. So after that, we'll put it together on the shoulder seam line because we want to take the measurement of our front strip. So I'll just arrange it from that point and take the measurement from the center back to the hem of the dress. So here I have 49 inches. So my strip has been cut at 6 inches width and length. I measured 49, but I added 5 more inches. Okay, so if I have an excess, I'm going to cut it off. It's better than to have a shortage. So I'll just go ahead and fold my strip, as you can see. So when I fold it, I have 3 inches. And I'm going to bring in the dress at the center back. I will lay my strip right side to right side. So once I lay it right side to right side, I will go over to I will pin at the center back, as you can see now. And I'll go over to the machine and stitch. So here I've stitched at 0.5 and you can see what I have for my strip. So now we want to start working on the sleeve, which is the main purpose of this tutorial. So for the sleeve, just go ahead and take your measurement from the neckline where I'm pointing. Just measure from that part I'm pointing right now. Measure 10 inches and create your mark. So after the 10 inches point, measure 3 inches. That is where we are going to pleat on that sleeve. So from that point to the 10 inches, I have about 6.5 inches. So just create a straight line. So this straight line, we are going to cut out our stay. So it's going to be your hair stay. So I'm going to cut out my stay right now. So my stay measures 3 inches and the length of my stay is 20 inches. So The hairstay, I cut it at 20 by 3 inches. So I'm going to place it on fold, and I will be placing the center point at the center sleeve line. Okay, so and I will lay it on that line I marked. That is the pleating part I'm laying my hairstay. So I'm placing my hairstay so it will be easy, or it will give us that beautiful fold. So you turn it back to the front again after placing your hairstay, and from the neckline again, take the measurement at 10 inches again. So once you take your measurement at 10 inches, just make a mark at the 10 inches, and from that 10 inches you are going to make another mark at 3 inches. That is the fold. You're going to pick it up from the center point of the 3 inches. Just fold it this way, facing the sleeve area. So once you fold it facing the sleeve area, you are going to secure it with your pins, as you can see. So I'll make sure I have it well folded from the center of the sleeve to the end of the sleeve. Then I'm going to use my pins now to hold it down. So I will hold it down from one end to the other, making sure the pin makes it stable for us. So I'll be going over to the ironing table to iron it out. After pinning it, I'm going to iron it. So this is what I have after pinning it, and I'm going to place it on fold because we want to trim out the shape of this sleeve before iron. Go ahead and arrange it very well because we are going to trim out the sleeve width. So secure it with your pins first of all, and then from this shoulder line I'm going to take 10 inches. So once you take 10 inches, just create your mark at 10 inches, and from that 10 inches just create a line. You can see me opening the sleeve. Create a line to meet with the curve we have on the line. So there you can see from that part, just create a line to meet the 10 inches. So after you are done with that, go ahead and cut it off. So I'm going to cut it off. So make sure you arrange this sleeve very well so you don't damage your fabric. I'm going to cut it out from that 10 inches into the sleeve, as you can see. So after cutting it out, we have the sleeve right now. So you can see the sleeve is actually looking beautiful at that point. So we'll come back to the sleeve where we folded, and we are going to turn the inner part of it, and I'll use my hemming gum to glue that part of the sleeve. So I'll just stick it inside and go over to my ironing table, and I'm going to give it a good press at that point. So I'll just do that, give it a very good press with my iron. So if you have a steam iron, you can use it to press it down very well. So that is what I'm doing. Just press it down very well so that it sticks with for you. So you can also go ahead and make a little tack to it as well. So this is what we have after we are done ironing. So I'm just trying to iron it a little more. So this is the sleeve, and that is the main purpose of this kimono dress. So I'll take off the pins right now. We have our sleeve. So whatever I do here, I will do for the other side. So now we are going to place 2 inches facing. So just go ahead and place your 2 inches facing right side to right side. Then I will go over to the machine and stitch. So here I've stitched at 0.5, and I'm going to flip all my seams to the facing and top stitch. This will give it a very beautiful look. When you fold it in, you can see we have a very neat finishing. So there I've top stitched, and I'm going to fold it in, and I'm still going to use my hemming gum. After weaving the outer part, I'm going to weave the outer part and use my hemming gum, or you can also stitch and tack. It all depends on you. So here you can see the sleeve is very much ready. So the next we want to do now is to attach the belt. So here is my belt. So my belt is 2 inches width. So I cut it at 5 inches and I folded it the normal way we fold our belt. So now I'll bring in the fabric now, and I'm going to arrange the fabric on the right side. So the front side on the wrong side. So here I'm arranging the front piece of it, and I'm going to take the measurement from my shoulder line. So from the shoulder line, I'm going to place my tape and I'm going to measure my waistline. So my waistline is at 17, so I'll just go ahead and take 17 inches. And from the center front, I'm going to go in by 5 inches, and that is where I'm going to stitch the belt. I'll repeat the same exercise on the other side from the waistline, 17 inches. So after I'm done marking 17, I'll also go ahead and mark on that point 5 inches. Then I'm going to stitch my belt. So I'll go ahead and stitch the belt, as you can see right away. So I'll just stop stitch, or I can fold in and stitch. So whichever way is better for you, it stays perfectly for you as well. So now I'm going to stitch my belt. So here you can see my belt. I'm done stitching my belt right now. So I'll now go over to the mesh stitch. So I'll come in by 0.5 and then 1 inch. Okay, so I'll sew at 1 inch to the end. So I will still make sure I iron that very well. So here our dress is ready and beautiful. So you can see the sleeve area is actually looking beautiful. So the next we are going to do is to sew the press button. So for the press button, you have to, this is my press button, you have to arrange your dress very well. Then from the shoulder, just go ahead and measure, place your tape and measure 12 inches. It depends on your opening anyway. So you are going to overlap it. If you want it to overlap, just press sew your press button at the end that way. But if you want it less overlap, you bring it out a little bit. So I'm going to sew my press button right now. And that is the end of this beautiful dress. So I believe you learned a lot from this tutorial. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe and turn on your notification bell. See you in the next video.